Hi, this is Steve. This is the Murder Monday podcast, and this is called Sometimes You Just Know. There are times in life when you just know. You have a spark. Conversations last hours, but they feel like minutes. You have a connection that cannot be denied, which is exactly how Justin and Angie of Des Moines, Iowa felt. They met in the spring of 2013. It was May, and by August, they were engaged to marry. Less than a year later, tragedy, which left everyone to think, can you really fall in love that quickly? It was Mother's Day weekend of May 2014 when police in one of the suburbs of Des Moines, Iowa got a phone call about a man shot just after 3:30 in the morning. Justin Michaels had been laying in bed next to his fiancée when his fiancée said someone came into their home and shot him in the head. He was shot a total of 4 times. Also in the home at the time of the murder, Justin's mother, who was there for Mother's Day. She saw a figure walk into the guest room where she was sleeping. She had thought that figure at first was Justin, but she could tell by the man's silhouette that it wasn't. While she lay in bed, she saw a red laser appear on the pillow in her bedroom. A few moments later, she heard 4 popping noises. To truly understand just how tragic this moment was, you have to understand that Angie knew that Justin was the one almost right away. And by the 3rd date, Angie had already texted one of her friends saying, "This is the man I'm going to marry." The pair were inseparable, quickly moving in with each other, and they were perfect together. Justin, passionate about community service, he volunteered for Habitat for Humanity. Angie was a middle school math teacher in her hometown. Giving back to their community was something they both greatly valued. And just months after meeting each other, Justin dropped to one knee, asking Angie to marry him. She of course said yes. Now Justin was dead. It appeared like a break-in, but the only thing that appeared that the intruder had attempted to take was his DVD player, which was unplugged and moved. This was orchestrated. Angie didn't think that her fiancé had any enemies. One moment she was asleep. The next, her fiancé was dead and she was covered in his blood. Maybe he had some sort of secret he didn't tell her or that she hadn't found out about. Angie started to wonder, what did she know about Justin? Was this future husband not who he said he was? Police were now hunting for a killer, and what they didn't know in this moment was that just days earlier, the killer had been searching these terms on Google. How to get away with murder. Best murdering murder guide you'll ever need. Hiring a hitman. Convicted crimes of passion in Polk County. Love triangle murder. How thick is the human skull? Justin Michaels was dead, but who did it? We'll find out together next on Murder Monday. Love makes you do crazy things. Just months after meeting Angie, a man named Justin Michaels asked her to marry him. They had met each other while skydiving in June of 2013, and by August, they were living together, engaged, ready to be married. Save the dates had been ordered, and it was May of 2014, Mother's Day weekend. Angie and Justin lay in bed with Justin's mother in the other room. It was after 3 a.m. when someone broke into the home and murdered Justin. At first, Angie thought to herself maybe she had made a mistake. Maybe she didn't know Justin Michaels as well as she thought she did. And Des Moines, Iowa police didn't realize it, but the killer had already made his first mistake, just 30 minutes after killing Justin Michaels, when he crashed his vehicle. After only knowing each other for a few months, Justin and Angie had gotten engaged in August of 2013, and everyone was happy for them. Even all of Justin's coworkers at Wells Fargo, except for one coworker. One who actually had a history with Angie. They had a sexual relationship in the spring of 2013, and when Angie met Justin, she decided to break it off with this man via text. The man's name was David Moffat. After learning of the engagement of what he considered his ex-girlfriend and his co-worker, Justin Michaels, he started making a number of bizarre Google searches. How to get away with murder, love triangle murders, even fruit that resembles the human skull. He also began to stalk the couple, learning when they would leave, making notes of possible entrances into and out of Justin Michaels' home, also the comings and goings of Justin Michaels' neighbors. On that May evening, dressed in dark clothes, David Moffat broke into Justin Michaels' home. Then he crept into the room where Justin Michaels' mother was staying, then walked to the bedroom. When he entered, Justin lay on his back, and David shot 4 times, then fled the scene, crashing his red Ford truck into a ditch just 30 minutes later. An off-duty police officer spotted the crash and went to help. He could tell that David Moffat wasn't drunk, so he told him to take a taxi home. The next day, the vehicle, still in the ditch, was searched by investigators. Inside the vehicle, they found 2 magazines containing ammunition that matched shell casings from the murder scene, and a receipt, which tracked David Moffat back as the purchaser of the gun, which was used to kill Justin Michaels. Moffat claimed psychotic breakdown after learning about his ex-girlfriend's engagement. No jury fell for this defense. David Moffat was sentenced to life without parole for the murder of Justin Michaels.